Can you believe this? In just 30 seconds, a high-powered logging machine can bring down a 30-meter-tall ancient tree, a task that once took humans hours, if not days, to complete. These steel beasts don't just cut, they debark, slice, and load logs onto trucks with a single robotic arm. This isn't traditional forestry anymore. This is a mechanical storm tearing through virgin forests at a pace never seen before. Are you ready to witness the terrifying precision and brutal power of modern timber harvesting machines? Machine introduction. The wood-splitting drill head attachment for excavators is a specialized tool designed to break down large logs or stumps. It operates on a conical spiral principle, using high-torque hydraulic rotation to drive a cone-shaped drill into the center of a log, forcing the wood to split apart on either side. Real-life application example. In deep forest logging sites, when workers encounter massive tree stumps over 1 meter in diameter, they use excavators equipped with log-splitting drill heads. A single operator can control the boom arm, and the rotating drill effortlessly splits the stump into manageable chunks for easier transport or further processing. Similar machines: hydraulic wedge-type wood splitters, stationary screw cone log splitters, excavator-mounted log cutters. Advantages: utilizes existing excavator power efficiently, capable of breaking very large and tough stumps, reduces manpower, effective in rugged terrains, high productivity for industrial scale operations. Disadvantages: requires a powerful hydraulic excavator. Drill bits may wear out quickly on hard or contaminated wood. High initial investment cost. Usage. Recommendation: ideal for large-scale logging operations. Ensure the excavator has at least a 10-ton capacity. Regular maintenance of the drill head and hydraulic system is essential. Always enforce a safety perimeter during operation to prevent accidents. Machine introduction. A hydraulic clamp-style log splitter uses powerful hydraulic pressure to split logs by compressing them between two steel arms. Instead of using a wedge or rotating drill, it relies on a gripping and squeezing action that forces the wood to break apart vertically. Real-life application example: in firewood production facilities or wood processing plants, hydraulic clamp log splitters are used to process medium-sized logs, 20 to 50 centimeters in diameter. The operator simply places the log between the clamps, activates the hydraulic system, and the wood splits within seconds. Similar machines: horizontal wedge log splitters, cone screw log splitters, guillotine-style log splitters. Advantages: strong and stable splitting force, Safer operation due to secure grip on the wood. Can be integrated with excavators or automated feeders. Low noise and vibration levels. Disadvantages: not ideal for knotty or cracked wood. Requires regular hydraulic maintenance. Log size must match clamp opening. Usage. Recommendation: best suited for professional wood processing facilities with a stable working area and log feeding system. Always position logs centrally, check for hydraulic leaks, and keep hands away from the working zone during operation. Machine introduction. The tree cutting and bark stripping head is an attachment mounted on an excavator or log loader designed to both cut down trees and strip off their bark efficiently. It typically features hydraulic cutting blades and serrated rollers that grip and peel the bark as the log is drawn through the system. Real-life application example. In industrial forest harvesting areas, once a tree is felled, this head is used immediately to cut the trunk to size and strip the bark in one seamless process. Within seconds, the tree is cleaned and prepared for transport or further processing. Similar machines: drum debarkers, screw-type log debarkers, harvester heads with integrated cutting and debarking. Advantages: combines cutting and debarking in one tool, saving time. Compatible with various base machines like excavators or log loaders. Reduces manual labor and streamlines processing. Boosts productivity in large-scale logging operations. Disadvantages: high initial equipment cost. Requires stable and powerful hydraulic flow. Less effective on resinous trees or those with tightly adhered bark. Usage recommendation: ideal for use in plantation forests or log processing yards. Before use, ensure cutting blades are sharp and rollers are in good condition. Avoid processing logs with embedded metal or stones to prevent damage to the equipment. Machine introduction. A brush cutter, vegetation clearing machine, is a mechanized tool used to remove tall grass, shrubs, vines, and undergrowth in forests, roadsides, or land clearing operations. It can range from small handheld devices to large tractor-mounted units equipped with high-speed spinning blades or nylon steel cutting lines. Real-life application example. During wildfire prevention campaigns or logging site preparation, brush cutters are deployed to clear access paths, fire break zones, or vegetation around tree bases. A tractor-mounted brush cutter can clear thousands of square meters in just a few hours. Similar machines: industrial grass trimmers, telescopic limb pruners, robotic arm bush cutters. Advantages: high efficiency compared to manual clearing, operates on uneven hilly terrain. Versatile models from portable to high-power machines. Improves vehicle access in forested areas. Disadvantages: risk of hitting hidden obstacles like stones or metal. High fuel or power consumption for continuous use. Requires trained operators to avoid injury or flying debris. Usage. Recommendation: choose a machine with the right power for the terrain and vegetation density. Always wear proper safety gear, gloves, goggles, thick clothing. Inspect blades regularly, and never operate near people or animals. Periodic use helps prevent regrowth of thick brush. Machine introduction. A stump grinding machine is a specialized tool designed to destroy or pulverize tree stumps and root systems left after felling. Typically mounted on excavators, tractors, or as standalone units, it uses a high-speed rotating drum or disc equipped with hardened steel teeth to grind wood into fine mulch. Real-life application example. In post-harvest plantation areas, these machines are used to fully eliminate large and stubborn stumps to prepare the land for replanting. A high-power grinder can reduce a 1-meter-wide stump into mulch within minutes, making disposal and soil preparation much easier. Similar machines, root plow or grubber machines, stump augers, drum chippers for woody debris. Advantages: complete stump removal, improves land usability, reduces manual labor for digging or pulling roots. Ground material can be reused as mulch or biocover. Prevents regrowth from old stumps. Disadvantages: grinding teeth wear quickly on rocky or contaminated soil. Noisy operation requires open work zones. High operational cost and fuel consumption. Usage. Recommendation: ideal for reforestation sites, land clearing, or construction site preparation. Pre-survey the ground to remove large rocks or metal debris to avoid damaging the grinder. Always observe safety zones and wear protective gear during operation. Machine introduction. A wood sawdust crusher is an industrial machine designed to pulverize logs, wood scraps, branches, and veneer waste into fine sawdust. It typically uses a high-speed drum or blade rotor, often combined with a conveyor feed system and sieving unit to ensure consistent particle size. Real-life application example. In wood pellet factories or biomass boiler facilities, wood crushers are used to process tons of wood daily. For example, a 75 kilowatt crusher can output over 1 ton of sawdust per hour, ideal for pellet production or biofuel use. Similar machines. Disc wood chippers, multifunctional tree crushers, industrial twin shaft wood shredders. Advantages: recycles wood waste into high-value products, produces uniform sawdust, ideal for pelletizing or bedding, available in various sizes and power capacities, continuous operation, suitable for industrial scale use. Disadvantages: can generate dust and noise without proper filtration systems. Blades require regular sharpening and replacement. Needs: steady feeding to prevent jamming. Usage. Recommendation: install dust extraction and cooling systems for better longevity. Ensure wood moisture content is below 15% before grinding. Operate only with proper shielding and trained personnel for safety. Machine introduction. A circular saw machine, often called an industrial wood saw, is equipped with a large round blade rotating at high speed to cut logs, boards, or timber with precision. It is one of the most essential tools in wood processing factories and sawmills. Real-life application example. In a medium-sized wood shop, a circular saw is used to rip logs into rough boards or trim lumber to exact size. The operator pushes the wood through the blade using a sliding table or guide rail, producing smooth, straight cuts in seconds. Similar machines: sliding table saws, panel saws, horizontal band saws. Advantages: fast and precise cutting, durable for continuous operation, easy to maintain and replace blades, suitable for a wide range of wood materials. Disadvantages: loud operation, needs dust collection, and safety shields. Risk of accidents if not used properly. Blade may chip or break when hitting hard objects. Usage. Recommendation: should only be operated by skilled personnel. Always inspect the blade before use and wear full protective gear, gloves, goggles, ear protection. Install the machine in a well-ventilated area with proper dust extraction for long-term safety and efficiency.